Wallace is back in NASCAR's new season with new wrecks on the track. And this new season, he got into Austin Dillon at the LA Coliseum under caution. How did the retaliation take place? What do Wallace and Dillon say about it? So, Nascarians, don't go anywhere and stay tuned to NASCAR Zone as we discuss more on this. But before we begin, do subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. The NASCAR season began on Sunday in the city of Los Angeles, in the state of California. Stock car racing was given a dramatic boost by the 1/4-mile bullring that was housed inside the Los Angeles Coliseum. Bubba Wallace Jr., who drives the number 23 Toyota Camry TRD for 23XI Racing, had a strong start to the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series season, despite the fact that the final results of the Busch Light Clash that took place at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum might not accurately represent his performance. The native of Mobile, Alabama, was seen around the front of the pack for the majority of the first half of the exhibition-style race that lasted for a total of 150 laps before falling back after the break for the halfway point. When there were only 10 laps remaining, Austin Dillon was running in second place and Bubba Wallace was in third. Martin Truex Jr., who was leading the race at the time, and Austin Dillon both chose the inside lane when the race was restarted. Bubba Wallace chose to sit in the front row, away from the crowd. Over the radio, the number 23 squad announced that the shootout had begun, and that it was time to get it. You damn right. Martin Truex Jr. had already passed Wallace before the green flag was waved, so he was in the lead of the race. In the fight for second place, Wallace chose to stay on the outside as Austin Dillon worked his way inside of him. Wallace entered turn 3 with a wide stance. Dillon slammed the door in his face as they exited turn 4, forcing Wallace to hit the wall while he clung to his right rear. At the 9th and last turn, Wallace collided with the bumper of Dillon, forcing the latter into the first turn. Wallace manipulated Dillon from the inside and continued to press on him going into the third turn. Dillon was snagged in the left rear off turn 4, and in order to save it, he turned left, which caused Wallace to be shoved down the front straightaway. With 8 laps to go, Wallace put pressure on Dillon as they entered turn 1. In the third round, he did it once more. As they emerged from turn 4 with 7 laps to go, Wallace successfully made the pass for second place. After ensuring that the bumper of Wallace's car was properly aligned, Dillon pushed the number 23 car into the corner. Now let's see the video of how the retaliation happened. Wallace twisted it around and then backed it up into the fence. A word of caution was uttered. Wallace restarted his vehicle with extreme caution and waited for Dillon to make his way back around the track. NASCAR made an announcement regarding new rules for on-track altercations in advance of the 2023 racing season. The reaction is probably a direct result of the altercation that occurred between Kyle Larson and Bubba Wallace. At the conclusion of the race, Bubba Wallace displayed clear signs of agitation. Even when the victor of the race, Martin Truex Jr., was being presented with his medal, he stayed seated in the vehicle for an extended period of time. What are your thoughts on the retaliation made by Wallace? Let us know in the comments section below. And also, do subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for more updates. Regarding the crash, Austin Dillon said during his interview that he hated for Bubba.
I hate it for Bubba. He had a good car and a good run, but you can't tell who's either pushing him or getting pushed. I just know he sent me through the corner, and I saved it 3 times through there, released the brake, all kinds of stuff, and then when I got down, I was going to give the same. Probably it was a little too hard, but Get By Ethanol Chevy was pretty good. It's beat up, used up. Teammate let me go try and get Truex at the end. That was nice, and yeah, it's been fun. Hopefully we can do this more often.
In response to Dillon's statements, Bubba Wallace told Bob Pockrass that the team was doing very excellent.
I don't know, letting it get too cold or letting it get too hot. And then once I fell back to 4th, I realized I was letting everything get too cold. And so I was kicking myself for that, but quickly adjusted. And I got back going, and the 3 just never tried to make a corner. He just always running to my left rear. It is what it is. It's I got run into the fence by him down the straightaway on that restart, so I gave him a shot, and then we get dumped. So it sucks. But y'all are looking for something, but I ain't gonna give you nothing.
Bubba Wallace's self-assurance is through the roof as the sun rises on a brand new season of NASCAR Cup Series competition. He won during the playoffs at Kansas Speedway, and he also set career highs in top 5 finishes and top 10 finishes. Additionally, he participated in a playoff race for an owner's championship, while his former teammate Kurt Busch was sidelined with an injury. This gave him some postseason experience. Sincere optimism has emerged as a result of Wallace's continuing growth and performance, as he is anxious to demonstrate that the previous year wasn't an anomaly and to discover ways to better in his third year at 2311. Wallace stated last week, prior to the Busch Light clash, that he would say this is the most thrilled he is for a season to start just because of the momentum they were on last year.
I would say, this is the most excited I am for a season to start, just because of the momentum we were on last year, all the changes that we made in the off season. It's shaping up to be hopefully our best year yet. We've been able to win the last 2 seasons, but at the wrong time. We need to win before the playoffs, get in the playoffs, and make a good playoff run, which I think our team is totally capable of doing now. And we've had the right people in place. Our mentality is there. Our work efforts are there. So I just have to do my job and go out and start this year off right. And so as much as this race is about bragging rights, your season starts here today for practice, qualifying, it shapes up everything. So you only hope now with the way that everything's structured, no practice, or you get practice, but it's not like before where you could wholesale the car if you needed to. You hope you unloaded the right way off the truck and it's somewhat close to where you can tinker with. So it's been fun working with Booty, continuing to grow with him, and just push that leadership throughout our team.
The first action that took place on the track in 2023 provided substantial validation for much of that hope. Despite the unfortunate finale, Wallace focused on the positives of an otherwise excellent performance. Booty Barker, who serves as the crew chief for Wallace's number 23 squad, is aware of the preparations that have been made for the next racing season by both Wallace and the team as a whole. According to Barker, the most important thing is to find a method to be there all the time and to continue building from the foundation that was laid the previous year. The first race of the season, the Daytona 500, will take place on February 19 at 2:30 p.m. ET, Hawks, NRN, and SiriusXM NASCAR Radio. In the previous season, Wallace finished in second place in the Great American Race, losing to Austin Dillon by a margin of 0.036 seconds. Wallace is also placed in second place twice in the sport's grand opening. What do you think, will Bubba Wallace win a title this season? Let us know in the comments below. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed it. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel to see more of our videos on NASCAR updates. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.